1 minute until showtime. Okay, we've got 1 minute before we are live. Yay! Thank you, Jana.
We'll stay live in 5 seconds. 4,
3, 2, 1.
Women have the power to transform this world.
Let's share our wisdom. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. Share our love. This is the female solution.
Every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima, executive producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, ni hao. In India, namaste. In Japan, konnichiwa. In Korea, annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, здравствуйте. In Germany, guten Tag. In Poland, dzień dobry. In France, bonjour. In Spain, hola. In Italy, ciao. In Egypt, asenwasara. In Ghana, akwaba. In Nigeria, paleo. South Africa, salbona. In Senegal, nangade. In Kenya, jambo. In Israel, shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, assalamu alaikum.
Greetings.
Be upon you all.
May peace be upon you all. And welcome.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with ZeldaSpeaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, the Female Solution. Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send us your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, ZeldaSpeaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moments with us today. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with ZeldaSpeaks. Make it a mindful day. Thanks for listening.
Grand Rising, and thank thank you for joining me this morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. I'm ZeldaSpeaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, and welcome to today's show. And we are just here to start your week off with the mindfulness stress relief session. And that comes up at 7:15 a.m. But first, let me tell you, happy Earth Day, birthday, born day, if today is your natal day. And if you are born in this month, we wish you nothing but the best of blessings because someone somewhere didn't make it today and you are one of the ones who did. So we salute you as we welcome you to this Monday morning mindfulness session. Let us keep in mind that those who are sick, incarcerated, and affected by this pandemic, and especially our essential workers who are in the midst of all this madness. Let us keep them in prayers. Today's topic is mental health. It's Mental Health Mondays, Corona, how you are affected by the epidemic that's going on. And also in the news, it's the Higher Learning Network Teen Talent Contest. It's coming up this Saturday, round 1, and will be live on Facebook.com, ZeldaSpeaks, on Facebook.com, HLN TV show, as well as our YouTube channel. So please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe now while it's on your mind. It's youtube.com, Higher Learning TV show. And we thank you in support of our youth who are enclosed just like we are. So we need to do something to keep their morale up as we keep our morale up because there's a whole lot more teens than it is us. And they got a whole lot more energy than we do. And they're just bouncing all over the place. So we have to help them stay focused. And this is one of the ways that we do that at the Higher Learning Network TV show, which is Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19 and 24/7 on the World Wide Web. Higher Learning TV show on YouTube, of course. And while you're there subscribing, please tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. So round 1 will be this Saturday, the 19th at 12 noon. Round 2 will be the 26th, the day after Christmas. And we will invite you to vote. So tell all your friends, especially if you're one of the contestants, that they can vote live right here on this platform as well as YouTube. So it's entirely up to you. Today's show is sponsored by Dr. Jason Lee Smith of Wicker Park Chiropractic Center and 606 Health. And you'll see his information below, which will be coming up shortly. And there it is right there. And you can join us. Veteran mental health professional Khalid Scott will be joining us in the 8 o'clock hour, but in the 7:30 hour, whoa, my goodness, I met a sister on this new app that I was invited to by a businesswoman by the name of Candy Condon. And she invited me to Clubhouse. So we are broadcasting live on the Clubhouse app this morning. And I thank you for those who are listening. And hi, Candy, she's right there with me. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Dr. Aya Osman will be joining us in the 7:30 hour. She is the neuroscientist that I met on the Clubhouse app, and she will be joining us. The things that she told me, I was like, oh my goodness, you have got to come to the Female Solution, as you are a female and you are part of the solution. So you've got to come on and share. So she'll be joining us at 7:30. Be sure and check out my blog, ZeldaRobinson.wordpress.com. You will see the article I wrote on last night's show on the Female Solution, Health and Wellness with Viata, talking about animals. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have not been an animal person all my life. And when you see the blog, you'll understand it. ZeldaRobinson.wordpress.com. While you're there, download the app, Higher Learning Network TV show app. When you see it, it looks just like that. The HLN, then you'll know you're at the right place. And while you're at it, be sure and go to ZeldaSpeaks.com or HigherLearningNetwork.com. Everybody knows my story, how I reverse type 2 diabetes. If I can do it, you can do it too, because Lord knows, love me some pound cake, some butter cookies, some sweet potato pie, some German chocolate cookie, anything with sugar in it, I was hooked. So if I can get up and drink my ABC drink, I call it apple, beet, cucumber, lemon, ginger, kale, turmeric. If I can drink it, anybody can drink it. Because at this point, we're not drinking for taste. We're drinking for health. And that's the most important thing. So go download your free diabetes, how I reverse type 2 diabetes, and share that with somebody, because we need to know. Because this is the season of sugar, is it not? Yeah, desserts. Thanksgiving was around. This was the first time ever in my life, and during a shut-in, I didn't overeat and I didn't gain weight. So kudos to me, because I'm usually feeding my face. But anyway, I digress. I do that sometimes. And if you are a cook and a shopper, you know that bills are outrageously high. The prices have jumped tremendously. Go to the grocery store and you see all the high prices. What used to be $20 is now $30. What used to be $10 is now $20. What used to be $5 is $10. I mean, it's ridiculous. But what are you going to do? So if your groceries are too high, then do what I did. Do what we did. We started gardening indoor. And in Chicago, you can't garden year round, so you have to have indoors. And I ordered the Tower Garden. So if you go to zeldarobinson.towergarden.com, you'll see that. And also, if you got a few things over there for pain as well. If you are in pain, inflammation, arthritis, anything of that nature, you always know I'm always talking about pain. Welcome to the wonderful world of aging. You can go to my site, zelda.now.site. That's SITE, zelda.now.site. And there's information there on pain and inflammation. Let's take a look at the traffic and weather, which is sponsored by Karen Kelly of itex.com and Dr. J at Wicker Park Chiropractic 606 Health. And they are now offering medical and recreational cannabis certification. You can give them a call at the number below on the screen, 773-276-7300. As we take a look at your traffic, if you're working from home, good for you, because if you're out and about, it's Monday morning madness, as always. High in the 30s today, cloudy but less windy, but cold. Only 30 expected today. No reports on Metro or CTA delays. Inbound on the Kennedy, it is your usual 15 minutes in, 14 out, 25 on the Edens inbound, and 21 out. On the Eisenhower, 26 min, 22 out. On the Stevenson, it's 18 minutes in, 15 outbound. On the Dan Ryan, it is 15 minutes slow, coming to a quick stop there at Roosevelt Road, but then moving forward. 12 minutes on the reverse. On the Bishop Ford and Lakeshore Drive, it's 11 minutes in both directions. And that's your traffic and weather, sponsored by Dr. J at Wicker Park Chiropractic and 606 Health. And it is now time for your Monday morning mindfulness meditation reading, not the actual meditation, but the inspiration. And that comes from December 15th from Inspirational Conversations with Shalom Israel, aka ZeldaSpeaks. And I am reading from today, December 15th. I usually do it. I read what the Spirit gives me. So I'm reading this today. And it says, every time someone makes their transition from this earth, someone else is born. Did you know that? The ancestors passed to make room for you. You were born to do great things with your talent. Make use of our gifts, if only for each day in a very special way. Do it for the sake of sheer enjoyment and the fulfillment that it brings you and those you come in contact with. Don't let the ancestors' demise be in vain. Oprah Winfrey says, unless you choose to do great things with it, it makes no difference how much you are rewarded or how much power you have. Inspirational Conversations with Shalom with Israel, aka ZeldaSpeaks, available at ZeldaSpeaks.com. And proceeds benefit the Higher Learning Network Teen Talent Contest, which kicks off this Saturday in 5 days. So you be sure and download that app for the Higher Learning Network. You see the logo in the back, then you'll know which one it is. It's the one with the green, purple, and orange logo. Okay. All righty. Be sure and join us tomorrow. Let's talk about it with my Ika. And on Wednesday, Naima Latif and Kareem Hamid, Repairing Family Relationships. Thursday, Family Matters with Wendy City DeLoach, Esquire, our attorney at law. And Friday, Friday, Health and Wellness with Viata. And Saturdays, Love, Joy, and Powers, Move Around with Deborah, Wisdom with Mama D. And that is Saturdays from 12 noon until 2 p.m. because during the week we're on from 7 until 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And on Saturdays, 12 noon until 2. And just in case you missed it, all the shows are available in the archives 24/7 at blogtalkradio.com, The Female Solution. Did I mention Sunday Soul Purpose Healing? Did you hear it last night? Did you see it last night? OMG. Talking about a healing of the planet, animals, our relationship to animals. I had not a good experience with animals in my day, in my youth, so which brought me not to particularly care for animals, especially cats and dogs, and that's what everybody loves. But I had an awakening. And I share that experience on my blog, zeldarobinson.blogspot.com. So it is 7:15, and it is time for you to experience your Monday morning mindfulness meditation. So I need you to sit up straight as I make a correction to my blog. I started another one because I was having problems with the other one. So it's ZeldaSpeaks. It's not Zelda Robinson, it's ZeldaSpeaks.wordpress.com. Okay? All righty, but right now it's time for meditation. So this is the time that we go within, and begin the process of healing. That is healing our body, our mind, our spirit with the power of the breath, because so many of us are stressed out and we don't know what to do, and we're just going from day to day, just chaotic. And especially if you're working from home and there's a lot of noise, you can't get quiet. People are interrupting you all day long. Well, this is the one thing that you can do in order to gain some sense of peace. And that is to simply you hear that? That's right. Nothing. You simply get quiet and begin the process of breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And you inhale to the count of 5, dimming the lights a little for you so you can enjoy the experience. Hold it, and then you exhale, doing this all through the nose. So sit up straight, feet flat on the floor, and we will begin the process of inhaling and exhaling as you get situated. Text a friend and tell them to join you this morning on the Female Solution, okay? So we will begin the process by inhaling to the count of 5. Hold it. And exhale. Close your eyes. Sitting up straight, feet flat on the floor, back erect. Just do a stretch. Let's do a stretch first. Let's just do a stretch. Oh, turn from side to side, awaking those joints this morning and just moving everything. Everything. Feels good already. So let us begin the process of inhaling deeply. Close your eyes. You should not be looking at me, but the inside of your eyelids. Hold it. And exhale. Once more, inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. Oh, that feels good. Inhale once more. And exhale. That feels good already. See what happens when you take that breath. It's continue to breathe. Just listen to my voice. When you take that breath, close your eyes and take that breath. Your breath is sending signals to the brain, the heart, liver, lungs, and all of the other parts of the body that you are no longer in the fight or flight response. You are now calm. You are now centered. And this is a place of peace for you where you can enjoy this moment right here, right now, and not be concerned about the next 5, 10 minutes, 5 hours, but just to enjoy this moment right here, right now. As we breathe in, hold it, and exhale all through the nose. Oh, that feels so good. Let's do it once more. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. And as you're inhaling, focus on the breath as you continue to breathe in and breathe out. Because the mind has a tendency to wander, and that's okay because that's what the mind does. But you simply remind yourself to continue breathing, focusing on the breath, telling yourself something positive as you breathe in. I am healthy. Yes. I am happy. Inhale deeply. I am whole and complete. And feel that love, light, and energy resonating throughout your whole body because you have just given your body the direction in which it needs to go, despite the voices in your head that are telling you to do your to-do list and get the kids and get the work and yada, yada, yada. Simply say, thinking out loud, and inhale deeply, bringing that focus back to your belly. That belly should be swole when you inhale deeply. And as you exhale, give thanks for the power of the breath because someone somewhere is on a respirator, has a trachea down their throat, and you are one of the wonderful ones, one of the beautiful ones who does not have that issue this morning. Look at you, how blessed you are breathing all on your own. As you inhale deeply. And exhale. That feels so good. Let us continue breathing in and breathing out and sending love and light to each and every part of the body as we take a long, deep inhale deeply, bringing all of that energy to the top of the head. And as we exhale, bringing it down to the forehead and the face and the chin and the neck and the shoulders. As we move those shoulders, rotate those shoulders. Give them what they need, movement. Inhaling, sending the energy on down to the chest and the solar plexus and the sides and the hips and the thighs. Love those thighs as we inhale deeply. Sending more love, light, and energy down through the knees. Yes, grub those glorious knees and the legs on down to the ankles. Oh, as we breathe in love, light, and energy down through the ankles, the arches, the insteps, and the toes. Wiggle those toes, sending that energy back up through the feet as we continue to breathe in. Bringing that energy back up through the ball of the feet, the top of the feet, the arches, the heel, the ankles. We give thanks for the power of the energy of our mind that is moving this energy back up through our legs and our knees as we breathe in. Bringing the energy back up with our mind and our breath, just through the thoughts in our minds, bringing the energy from the thighs to the hips, to the buttocks, to the back as we breathe in. Bringing that energy back up to the back of the shoulders, the back of the neck, where the vagus nerve is. Simply massage that neck, sending it love and light, releasing all the stress as we breathe in. Massaging the vagus nerve. And if you don't know what that is after the show, go to the Google it and find out so you'll know how your body operates. Oh, that feels so good. Just rub and love on that vagus nerves as we breathe in, sending that energy back up to the top of the head and giving thanks for the power of the breath that guides us through the course of the day as we inhale deeply. Hold it and exhale. Just enjoying the glory of all that love and light and energy you just gave your body, the direction for the day as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, you are releasing all of the stressful hormones in the body because you have filled them with your breath, with light and love and energy. Ah, how does that feel? It feels simply marvelous, doesn't it? Let's continue. Let's take another long, deep inhale deeply. And this time, as you exhale, bring your chin forward to your chest and slowly rotate your head to the left as you're sitting up straight. Slowly bringing the head to the back. Slow down. And slowly bringing the head around to the right. Slowly. Head up. Inhale deeply. And exhale, bringing the head back down, chin to chest. Slowly rotating the head to the right. And slowly bring the head back around to the back and slowly to your left. And slowly bringing the head back around, front and center. Head up. Inhale deeply. And look to the left as far as you possibly can, feeling the stretch in the right of the neck. Bringing the head back forward. Inhale deeply. And turning the head to the right as far as you possibly can. Ooh, feeling that stretch in the left. Doesn't that feel good? Mm-hmm. And bringing the head back around. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed a miracle. Yes, miracles are possible because you just gave your body the signal that you are now in a different state of mind. You are now experiencing bliss. And that's what you get when you inhale deeply and exhale. You see, deep breathing expands the lungs. Not only does it expand the lungs, but it triggers the receptors of the happiness gene. So now you know why you're smiling outside, because you're also smiling inside. How about that? And just think about it. You can do that with the power of your breath anytime you get ready. You simply inhale deeply and exhale. Oh, that feels so good. I just want to turn the computer off and just go lie down and enjoy the rest of the day. That's not going to happen. So I have to share more with you today. I can do that later tonight when it's time to go to bed. But this is something that you can share with your friends and family and coworkers. When you are stressed, when they're stressed, just tell them to breathe and leave you alone. And if they don't, you simply, if you forgot to brush your teeth this morning, or you got a little funk on your breath, like some garlic or some day-old food or some onions, you simply inhale deeply. And this time you let it out through your mouth. When I promise you, they'll get away. So be sure and share this with someone. And be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel, ZeldaSpeaks, and hit that notification button while you're there so that you can receive updates of all the wonderful stress relief tips I'll be leaving you. Okay? All righty. I hope you enjoyed our Monday morning mindfulness stress relief session, and I hope that you will share it with someone. And if you are joining us via social media today, we thank you. We are very grateful for you, especially our new Clubhouse members. So thank you, Clubhouse, for being a part of the Monday morning mindfulness meditation. I thank you. I appreciate you. And we will be continuing the show on Facebook.com, ZeldaSpeaks, and our YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV Show. So thank you so very much for being a part of this experience. And if you'd like to join the conversation this morning, we'd love to have you. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. And when we come back, I will be joined by Dr. Let me be sure I'm getting the pronunciation of this right. Dr. Aya Osman. Dr. Aya Osman. And she will be joining us as we go to our first commercial break. You can text someone and let them know that we're on right here on The Female Solution. And thanks for watching.
You're tuned in to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair 2020 Vision Fundraising Campaign. That's right. You can support the vision of reviving Black literary excellence in the city by simply taking your $20 or more and donating it on our website. Visit www.soulfulchicagobookfair.com and click the Donate tab on our homepage, or give us a call at 646-359-6605, and we welcome you, helping us breathe literary life into the South Side of Chicago. We all say we would like to be wealthy, but wealth isn't determined by how much money you have. Wealth is determined by your power to define what money is. The dictionary defines money as something used as a way to pay for goods and services and to pay people for their work. So how would you like to have access to an unlimited source of money? Money that is not taxed by the government. Money that increases as you share the opportunity with others. Money that you can use to pay for goods and services and pay people for their work. I'm talking about Bitcoin. It's the future of independent wealth building. Bitcoin is the new money that you control. Get started building your wealth. Call 312-849-3456. That's 312-849-3456.
Are you constantly arguing with your spouse? Are your children misbehaving and acting out? Someone in your family abusing drugs? Have you been the victim of domestic violence? Are you grieving over the loss of a loved one? Let us help you restore serenity to your life. At Serenity Family Social Services, we understand that good mental health is the result of emotional well-being. Our goal is to assist you and your family in removing emotional distress and restoring harmony and balance to your lives. We offer individual, couples, and family counseling. I'm Howard Williams, CEO of Serenity Family Social Services. Call us today at 312-315-4820. That's 312-315-4820.
Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shinsu Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. email us at chicagohppl@gmail.com.
This is Minister Cynthia Marie Williams, spiritual counselor and advisor. I invite you to a private reading in the areas of business, health, finances, relationships, for introductory cost of $20. Please call because there is a higher power that can help me help you. 312-802-4743. Peace and blessings to you all. Call me. 312-802-4743.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Lizzie. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world. Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/TheMediaConnectionTV.
YouTube and see you soon.
There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their stories to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection. Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago. In other cities, check your local cable listener. Do you or your organization need space for an event? Call the Quarry Event Center at 2423 East 75th Street in Chicago for your parties, banquets, award ceremonies, repasses, concerts, and business seminars. Available 7 days a week. Now under new management. Call us at the Quarry at 773-663-2557. That's 773-663-2557. I'm Beata, your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with me, I'll help you develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com, where you can also review my 3-step protocol to guide you to abundant health. That's yourholisticlifecoach.com, and I'm Beata.
Do you worry about finances, family, health, job, relationships? Are you in pain? Do you feel stuck? If you answered yes to any of these questions, help is available. Don't worry, you're not alone. It's part of the human process. You only feel this way because you haven't mastered the voices in your head. No hype, just down-to-earth, solid, workable tools and techniques that you can practice daily. It's really food for the soul. Whether you want to learn how not to worry about anything, reverse type 2 diabetes, publish a book, promote your product or service, or just make extra money. Take advantage of the deal of the day. Go to ZeldaSpeaks.com or call 312-409-6619. Mention promo code The Female Solution and get free shipping. That's ZeldaSpeaks.com or 312-409-6619. Stop worrying today. Visit ZeldaSpeaks.com.
Grand Rising. And thank you for joining us back here on The Female Solution. I'm your host, ZeldaSpeaks, host of Monday Morning Mindfulness. Hope you enjoyed the Monday morning mindfulness meditation to help you get your day started and to keep you happy and activated. Keep that happiness gene activated, because that's what you do with the power of the breath. You wonder, walking around with a smile on your face. Everybody like, what's wrong with you? What you so happy about? I activated my happiness gene. That's all. That's what I always do first thing in the morning. So when people come to me with their drama, I simply smile, inhale deeply, and depending on how nice they are to me, and if I've got some garlic on my breath, I'll breathe through my nose or I'll breathe through my mouth and go and watch them go away. It always works for me. It's Monday, November. I can't even get the month right. It's December. I'm a little bit behind. It's Monday, December 14th. Right, Tony? Right. It's December 14th, 2020. It's the last one of the year. So thank you for joining us this morning. If you are calling in, we'd love to have your calls. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. And I see the board is lit up. I'll take your call in about 2 minutes here. Just want to let you know today's show is sponsored by Dr. J of Wicker Park Chiropractic Health. And he is my personal chiropractor, because when I can't walk, when my back goes out, maybe once or twice a year, we all get trauma, all kind of issues. That's why we need to listen to Maika on Tuesday on the Female Solution. And I'll give you that lineup in just a moment. But first, I just want to remind you that the Higher Learning Network Teen Talent Contest is kicking off this Saturday, the 19th at 12 noon for round 1, and on the 26th, round 2. And the finalists will be announced on the Higher Learning TV show channel on YouTube. And today we're talking about Corona, mental health, and the holidays. At 8 o'clock, we'll be joined by veteran mental health professional Khalid Scott. But right now, we're going to go to the phone lines, 312-802. 312-802 Grand Rising. And thank you for joining us this morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? 312-802. You probably need to unmute yourself, and until you do that, let me give you the lineup.
Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. This is Minister Cynthia. How are you?
Grand Rising, Minister Cynthia. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you. Thank you.
So much in the morning. I really have the opportunity today. It's Monday, and I said, let me call Zelda's show. My husband's birthday is today.
Oh, what's his name?
From Michael Williams.
Michael Williams.
I got a box for a husband.
All right now.
Mike. A young man, too, girl. I didn't know it was going to be an old school.
Alrighty now.
Today is his birthday. He'll be 58. When he told me how old he's going to be, I didn't realize. But you know what? It's okay. As long as we got strong health and support from everybody, male or female.
That's all.
I'm thankful for this beautiful man. But Zelda, I really, when we called this, because I asked her show last night, and I thought, oh God, I knew Monday I was going to take off, but I needed to call for your show because you have such dynamic ways of dealing with relaxation, which is really, and I always said that about that.
Thank you, baby.
Talking about your technique and your mastery of the breathing technique that helps to calm all of us down. And then you say, put some garlic in your voice and keep other people away. I like that. Anyway, have I tried to know? Because I keep putting my lozenges in my system, so I'm trying to get them, I'm telling you. But for my breath, but I just find that so enjoyable, and your breathing, that's the main thing. We must learn to breathe. I like that.
Yes, and I heard you on the show last night, on Viada's show on Soul Purpose Healing, before I nodded out. Because I'm, I wake up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's like by 8 o'clock, I'm on my way. I'm in the Z zone. I'm in the Zelda zone. I'm like, I'm asleep. As much as I try and stay awake, I'm asleep. But I thank you for sharing that information that you did, because I never would have thought about the experience that I had with animals the negative experience that I had. Well, it was a negative. It was just my perception of it.
We're not connected, but we all have thoughts transfers. That's what I wanted to share because as a soul that has come in this time as a Black woman, it has really been an experience being here. I've been asked over the years, coming on blogs, being honest about my traumatic, dramatic human matrix experience. How did I survive? How come I wasn't on drugs? How come I wasn't out there on the street? All of us are courageous. We don't know how rough it is here. Lately, like I said, I hope that is this hell I said yes it is. Planet, yeah. I said it's beautiful on the other side. It's because I've been there. But here's the lesson and involvement of our soul to develop. And it's like it is a school. It's a school. You don't know when we come here, we're like little preschoolers. We say, oh, okay, all right. I know my words. That's all the things that got me in trouble. My thought transfers, I'll use that terminology. I could always say speak, but I said when I became aware of others coming here, because I didn't know what here was. I was curious, curiosity killing cactus. But I was curious and I wanted to go. I always like to learn things out, moving around the universe, looking for the stars and the planets. I'm seriously, I haven't read the book about it yet, but I am one of those souls who have tremendous memory capabilities. That's my loyalty, that's my genius. But here we go. In sharing those things I said last night, I also wanted to say that historically, we as Black people have that in our coded system, slavery, but a lot, you know that, Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Maika knows, Naima knows. There's a lot of anxiety in our DNA coding. 400 years of abuse and all of that. So our fear of the Caucasian master in the sense of the medical profession as we know historically in this country and the prison industrial system, those of us who are conscious, we are aware it's a historical thing for us as African Americans. So I don't care what they develop. I don't care if a Black woman was a part of it. There is that anxiety that they have. It has more than that. Well, they're talking how they're going to get us to want to take this virus. They said, as I listened to them describe it specifically, I have the opportunity to see the protein from the virus will attack the so-called virus that may be in our bodies. So I know they have said they have to give us the virus in order to help us heal from it. But he specifically, Dr. Fauci, Bible calls it the devil. Dr. Fauci says the protein from what they have found from the virus is the antibody that will contact this virus and prevent it from replicating. How many doses? They say 2.
One too many already.
A doctor did say, how long is it going to last? I mean, he didn't stop.
They don't know.
Notice how they do.
They don't know.
At first, he said that. Now, here we go. But when it became like everybody out there being put out there, then he didn't say that anymore. See, I being around Caucasians, and I pay attention to how they politically speak and explain language. So he never said that anymore. He said that they really stopped producing. They really don't know how long it's going to last, but they're telling us now, specifically scientifically, what it is supposed to do. So this is still, now they've had a Black minister, very popular Black minister in New York, talk about religious leadership supporting the idea of taking the shot. Now, I'm going to tell you something. In my sometimes, or maybe we should take the shot. But then I listened. I know I took the polio when I was a little girl. 72 Earth, I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, doing taking years old, we had to take polio vaccine. It wasn't anything uncommon. We just put it in line, and they gave us a shot. I will say, we know that was devastating earlier, was during World War II, after World War II, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt had polio.
Mm-hmm, sure did.
The issue is, yeah, that's what the word Franklin, wasn't it, Zelda?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
But there's one got the black woman who they took her genetics, and I love that movie. I saw it in Oprah did. I did not know, but see, this is what we have to be careful about. That's why from my own freedom, so you see, mother told me from Mississippi, Alabama, group of women, really infant education, told me don't let anybody study me. See, and those stories that I talking about is very true. When our brilliancy, and that's anybody, let me say it like that. When our brilliancy in Jesus comes out, we have to be careful when we're around the vampires. And they want to suck in. We have to be careful. See, because, I was an always brilliant in Jesus. In the soul of black people, using that terminology, that's a movie or song. The soul of black people, we come in this covering, in this body cover, because we want to go through that experience to elevate our soul development to a higher ethereal level. And I know that's why I accept this challenge. I'm telling you, that's what I said. I think thought transference was saying. I said, I accept the challenge with my nose behind. I put it I wanted to go where they were going.
Okay.
Girl, I said, I want to go. I'm just so nosy. Next thing I know, when I finally got some pictures, that's a soul, a mention from my other lives, I use terminology. And then I'm like, I want to go back.
So did you see something that you didn't enjoy? Did you see something that you did not enjoy? And for our listeners who are who don't have an understanding of what you're referring to, what did you mean when you said you went to the other side? Where is the other side, and what did you see?
The matrix, and I think Sylvia is the thing I can use like this. The 5-sense world we live in, we are spirit energies from the divine God, which is not a man. But the divine creative energy is what we're connected to. We're all divine. That's our system. The energy of everything on this planet and throughout the universe comes from that creative source. Here I go. Nature, the spirit, soul, body. The spirit energy of the universe, like batteries, they energize the body. We're souls with a personality that reincarnate from other lives. It is a fact. Until we recognize that we must learn to live life from the inside out. We are like batteries. We are the power source and part of the creative process. Religion does not teach you this. Those of us who are out here, truth tellers, we are out here and we understand in our own book of meditation that it's one person at a time. But the human structure, and let me share this with people. We are spirit in the universe. We are soul personalities that are reincarnated in the body container. And the body container means that we can be any race, culture, creed, or color. This is the 5-sense world that we're trying to come into, get fitted to, because we have lost sight of our true original being. Yes, we do. We're so busy living in this 5-sense matrix world that we're not remembering. Let me say metaphysics. I'm a licensed metaphysician and counselor, psychologist, counselor. But here's what we forget. We forget our original identity. We forget that we are divine children of God, which is worship God in spirit and truth. God is not a man. And I love what Dr. Comey always talks about. we are designed male and female in the human expression, but we have no sexuality when we're on the other side. And I do know this. I do remember this. And as a Black woman, it has been quite traumatic because we get beat down so bad as a result of slavery that we don't recognize our own kind. And women that mentored me were Black women from Mississippi and Alabama, and they barely had 8th grade education. And we forget that we, as women from the motherland, I don't want to say Africa, that's a Black man, from the motherland, the darkness of the earth, and we had brought that spirituality. That's why they were just amazed at how we were able to survive slavery. They did everything they could. They tried white folks, they tried Native Americans, and we were the only ones that was strong enough. I said, Black people lived to be 100 during slavery. You hear me?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I thought the people were so strong. So strong. I forgot we lived to be 100.
Yes.
I mean, them Black women, I'm saying about my dear, I have no problem with it. Solitary. My in-laws, my lovely big mom, I loved her. And then her daughter was my dear.
Yeah,
That's part of our culture and history that we forgot. Even though Perry did what he did, I have no problem. I'm Big Mama. I'm not dear. I'm 72 years old. I'm born in Mississippi. And I'm gifted with the veil. See, they talk about the veil. That's old school. And they said, baby, don't worry, you were born with a veil. And my trauma was that when I come into this world, they used to say to me, when I was a little girl, Cynthia is peculiar. They used to talk about me. Because I saw things and I knew. And I just was just so brilliant, so smart. And they just said I was peculiar, which wounded me as a child.
Ooh.
Not all children have to get on the level I did. But I tried to talk to another baby my age, and she was like so out of it. I couldn't do it. I was so frustrated. I'm using thought transfer when I come here, and I'm trying to talk to these people. I'm looking at these people when I was little, and I looked at the stove I was sitting next to. I had to been 18 months. Because I'm sitting up and the stove was bigger than me. When I went to my grandmother's house, I realized I had to been about 18 months. But remember, I just one of those souls that has tremendous life history, remembrance, and I remember other lives too. But see what happened when we came into this world, they trained us, and what does a Black woman say in a narrative? We're told by the white preacher, always obey your master. So in our DNA, we automatically look to the dominant culture unconsciously because they control today, media, communications, they define everything. But we who are Zelda,
yes, ma'am.
all of us.
Yes, ma'am.
Brilliant, smart, conscious women, really. But see, they define everything, and the media protects who and what they are. It's not so much a negative, yet it is. But they were created in the spirit soul realm from the divine also. They have lost their way because I had one of my helpers say, Ms. Williams, you hate white people, don't you? I said, no, I don't hate them, I don't trust them. I've been around the Caucasians and how they do what they do at home. I've had enough honest ones talk to me and the reality of what they're taught and what they're told when they're in their world. And no, it's not that I hate them. I just don't trust them because I know they are lost their way from the divine. They have lost their way. And here's the problem, the problem for me is, well, why is it that when we come in as men, well, I said for years I kept asking the universe if I meditated, why do we act like we act as men when we come in from the spirit soul realm? Don't talk to me anymore about who the devil is. The devil kills, steals, and destroys. I told my Muslim brother, I said, you know what? The only people that I've known that done that is you men.
Okay.
I said, y'all ought to be ashamed to be men. Because that's all what that double talk men do that stuff. They have that double thing of talking to us as women.
I want to thank you, Minister Cynthia Marie, for calling in and sharing this morning. But it's 7:50, and we've got a break, and we've got to bring our guest in at 8:00. So thank you so very much for calling in and chiming in with me this morning. Greatly appreciate it. You're always a blessing. You are just the genius that we are. So we appreciate you, and thank you so much for joining us here on Monday Morning Mindfulness. It's an honor to have you, my sister. Thank you so very much. And if you'd like to join the conversation, 515-605-9325, press 1 to speak. Coming up in the 8:00 hour, we will be joined by our very own veteran mental health professional, and that would be Khalid Scott, who will be joining us. But let me remind you before we go to commercial break that on Tuesday, we will be joined by Maika. Let's talk about it with Maika. And on Wednesday, our executive producer, Naima Latif, and Kareem Hamid appear on Repairing Family Relationships. On Thursdays, it's Family Matters with Wendy City Deloach, Esquire, our attorney here on The Female Solution. Friday, Health and Wellness with Viata. And Saturdays, Move Around with Deborah, Love, Joy, and Powers, and Wisdom with Mama D. Oh, excuse me, and did I forget? Jana, our host from London, England, and she talks about nonviolent communication. And if you haven't heard any of those shows, always feel free to go back and listen to the shows in the archives. They're there 24/7. So all you have to do is go back and listen to them. It's 8:00 right now. We're going to take our commercial break. And when we come back, we will be joined by Khalid Scott, our veteran mental health specialist. So you stay close right here.
Hi, I'm Dr. CJ of Bologna Health, where we combine orthopedic manual therapy and neuroscience to treat the whole person. Health tip for the day is keep it moving. Doesn't matter how, just keep it moving doing something you enjoy. Walking, dancing, rolling on the floor with your dogs or kids, really anything. The body craves movement to keep its bones, joints, and muscles happy. Even our mental health and internal organs and digestive system rely on our movement. Thanks for being a part of the Higher Learning Network, The Female Solution.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif. Join me and my co-host Kareem Hamid every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Female Solution Radio Show, as we explore that relationship that is the foundation for our society, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. Join our discussion as we seek to repair broken family ties and rebuild our community. Listen online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to our host. Or you can join us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the-female-solution.
Oh man, God sent the monthly sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark.
Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? Because we don't know how to use solar energy, the free energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home to a solar energy home and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456, and schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456.
Grand Rising. And thank you for joining us back here on The Female Solution. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. I'm your host, ZeldaSpeaks. And as always, you are invited to join the conversation at 515-605-9325. Press one to speak. Happy Earth Day, birthday, born day. If today is your birthday, and today I do know that today is the birthday of Michael Williams, the partner of Minister Cynthia Marie Williams, who just called in. So happy birthday, Michael. And thank you, Minister Cynthia, for calling in and sharing that information, because we want everyone to be as happy as you are. So thank you for that. In the news, it's the International Peace Summit taking place Saturday the 26th, and our executive producer, Naima Latif, will be joining us at 9 a.m., and she will tell us all about that. But you be sure and stay tuned for this Saturday. We'll be broadcasting live here on Facebook.com, ZeldaSpeaks, Facebook.com, Higher Learning Network TV show. I'm sorry. And now a Higher Learning TV show. I'm sorry, YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV show. But today we are joined by mental health, veteran mental health professional, and that would be Brother Khalid Scott. As I go to the phone lines to open up his line, I would like you to welcome Brother Khalid Scott, veteran mental health professional, who is sharing his wisdom and expertise as he comes to the microphone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Brother Khalid. Thank you. Welcome. Brother Khalid Scott.
Well, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. And the topic is Corona and your mental health. How are you handling it? What have you discovered, Khalid, how people are handling the corona and the effects of it, and how we're handling with our families, things of that nature? What has been your experience? You're the professional.
Right. I am discovering now that the holidays are amongst us, and a lot of people are challenged right now. A lot of people are challenged. A lot of people are fatigued. A lot of people are stressed. A lot of people are feeling traumatized. And a lot of people are feeling less hopeful. And I thought that at this time, we all would kind of be like used to this. But I guess you can never get used to a pandemic.
No.
That's growing your whole entire life off of its course. Just as of yesterday, I know a nice person who has died from corona. You know? Related, corona-related illness. And, I'm in my own private practice now, and I have 4 married couples who I am counseling who are really struggling, and corona brought to surface all of their stress. When I'm at work, my co-workers are like, what are we doing here? When I'm talking to other clinicians, we are booked. We are booked solid with clients now. And then the holidays is already a tricky time for a lot of people.
Right.
So you add that this will be the first holiday season where people who have lost loved ones due to corona, they're not going to be with them this holiday season, of course. And you add on top of that, we can't celebrate how we normally would celebrate.
You're right.
And you add on top of that, folks who went out to celebrate regularly, now you have increased, the amount of corona afflicted people because people went out and traveled and congregated together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot going on. And you see, I keep adding the and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we're dealing with this presidential issue.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't even go smoothly. Even though the president and the majority of us wanted to win won, we're seeing all this back and forth. So we don't even see the stability in our leadership.
Mm.
So that's a lot for people to have to take in.
Yeah, that's a lot to process.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's a lot.
And like I just said, my business is booming now.
Wow.
And I am really trying to get people to get in the middle, to have balance. But also, I'm going home at night and I'm exhausted.
I know.
I'm exhausted.
How do you handle the stress of handling everybody else's stress? That's my first question. How are you? Because you're bringing all this home.
Yeah, I mean, this past weekend, and I made it clear that I don't want to be a social worker on the weekend.
Oh.
But I have multiple friends calling me this weekend with different scenarios going on in their life. And of course, I'm never going to turn my friends down.
Right.
Because that's my village.
Right, right.
But it's like we all are going through. My single friends are male because they're not in a relationship to have support. And my married friends, I have 4 friends right now, Zelda, who are going through divorce proceedings.
Ooh.
4.
Ooh.
4.
That's a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I wish I could be on the phone right now saying, yeah, we're coming to an end of things. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Everybody is kumbaya and happy. No, that's not the reality.
No.
At least in my world, it's
Right.
not.
Right. Wow.
At least in my world, it's not.
Yeah. That's a lot to carry. That's a lot to carry.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely. So you hope for the best. You just hope for the best, and I think it's going to come. We're survivors.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
But we got to get past this, and I hope that the new year will bring some new agenda, new changes, some new hope.
Yes. So, in times like these, when our mental health is being challenged on a minute by minute basis, not just daily, but a minute by minute basis, I know that there are tools and techniques that we can use immediately to, for lack of a better word, to calm things down when we are in a state of confusion and chaos. What are you recommending people to do? And what do you do, more importantly?
Yeah. For me, and I've mentioned this before on the show, that I have an advisory committee. And these are people who are in my village who I know I can turn to for support, who I can vent to, who I can just be very transparent and feel safe enough to be transparent with. People, because I'm a people person. I exercise. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the most self-care things to do. To get out here and move.
Yes.
You know, I like entertainment. I love music. I love looking at movies. I bought me a fire stick so I can watch movies.
Okay.
So I can escape. You know what I'm saying? I think we all have subscriptions to Netflix and Hulu and Prime and everything else because we're in a house now.
Right.
You know, it's dangerous to be outside. one intervention is pray. Pray and pray again. And go ahead and sign up for some therapy if you need it.
Oh,
go ahead and sign up for some therapy. If you have a job and your job has a EAC program which provides you free counseling sessions, go and sign up and get 3 or 4 sessions in. Because again, we are going through, I met with a therapist a few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? And it was wonderful. Just to have somebody who doesn't know me, has no bias, you know, and who's just listen. Hear me, another professional say, it's kind of overwhelming out here now.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of overwhelming out here now. Then, again, the holidays, you know, I went over to I usually go to my place's house with my daughter, and we have a good time. Well, this time we had to do it differently. We did a drive-by, picked up the food, and came back home.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Wow.
For Christmas, I'm just going to be in the house with my daughter. You know? And that's it. No New Year's Eve celebration. You can't do anything that you would normally do because now it's life and death.
Yeah. I had someone.
So we got to turn to our faith. We got to turn to our village. And then, sadly, 6 weeks ago, Zelda, one of my mentees on his 33rd birthday committed suicide.
Oh, no.
You know? Yeah. And that's when the tables turned for me.
Oh.
Because it was like, you know how seminars on suicide. I've done workshops on suicide. You know, I work with other people who have thought about suicide. But when it knocks on your front door, you know what I'm saying? It's a different beast.
Right.
It's a different beast. So now with my clients, it's like I'm really doing check-in. And I tell people all the time, please check on the people who you think are strong. Yeah.
That's a good clue.
People who are strong, who you think are strong. It's easy to assume, you know, that cousin of yours or that sister of yours who's always crying over me and over finances and stuff. It's easy to say, well, let me check on them because I know they kind of thin. But it's folks like me who have to intake all this trauma and drama every day. I need people to check up on me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I asked that question. That's exactly why I asked that question. It's like, because you're taking on the world of everybody else. And I'm thinking to myself, Khalid, how do you function when you have the weight of the world of so many people on your shoulders? How do you function? Oh, my goodness, to carry that. Wow.
Right. Well, you know, the thing is, God makes people who do what I do, he builds our shoulders to be strong. He gives us the wherewithal. He gives us what we need, but we still have to replenish. We still have to replenish. We still need to know that we need outlets. You know, my mentee who committed suicide, that really did something to me. Because I've been mentoring for 25 years, and this is the first one I ever lost.
Wow.
And typically, my mentee, anytime he was in a dark space, he would call me. So this time, so in the dark where he didn't want to call. And I found out, you know, later that drank antifreeze. So he wanted to go. He wanted to leave. You know, and he's not the only one. The suicide rates amongst black people, especially black men, are rising now.
You know, Khalid, I have to ask you this question. Because he was your mentee, you were his mentor, and you may or may not, did you see the signs that trouble was on the horizon? And if you did, what did you do? Or did you see the signs?
Well, what happened? Right, absolutely. Well, he was. How I met him, I was his counselor at first when he was a DCFS ward.
Mm-hmm.
So I met him when he was 12 years old.
Mm.
So from 12 to 18, I was his counselor.
Okay.
And then when he went away to college, I knew I had to shift my role. I wasn't his counselor no more, so I became his mentor. So what happened was from 18 all the way up to 33, and he moved to Phoenix.
Okay.
So we kept in contact with each other. But for the last 2 months, he cut everybody off.
Oh, including you.
Never heard from him, including me. And I called him and sent him a text message on his birthday. That's when he committed suicide.
Oh.
Yeah. So the thing is that he wanted to isolate. See, the thing is, you can do everything for somebody who's in a dark space.
Right.
You can hold their hand. But the minute you go to the bathroom, if they want to do something, they'll do it.
They're going to do it. You are absolutely right.
They're going to do it.
Right.
And it took a person in my village to say, Khalid, I know it's hard to hear this right now, but he's not suffering no more.
Yeah.
He's not suffering no more. Because if the pain was that bad to drink antifreeze to leave out this world, that means his pain was great.
Yeah.
And it was nothing you or anybody else could have done.
Right.
But that's hard.
Yeah, that's hard. For you to swallow as a therapist.
Right. And it's somebody who loves him.
And did you how did you handle that immediately upon, as a professional, how did you handle that immediately upon hearing the news that he'd taken his life?
Well, I went through the grieving process. And so let me explain what the grieving process looks like.
Okay.
What happens is when you experience a loss like that, especially a loss that you weren't planning, you know, there's a process you go through. So when you first hear the information, you go into shock. So literally, I was driving and his aunt called me. And when she told me, I literally had to pull my car over into a parking lot.
Yes.
Because I went blank.
You blanked out, okay.
Hoping that he was right. And so then when I got my bearings together, that's when the tears started coming down. But I was in utter shock. Okay. And then as the week got passed, the next thing I was angry.
Oh.
I was angry at me. I was angry at God. I'm angry at him. You call me. Always call me when you're in your dark space. Why not at this time? Khalid, why didn't you just try harder and communicate with him?
Okay.
You should have been blowing up his phone more. God, why did you take away my 33-year-old Missy? I love them. See, we all love them.
Right.
Then you go into depression, sadness. Now you get into the actual mourning of the loss. Then you go into bargaining. And bargaining is, if I could have, what if somebody would have called? What, like, he had a best friend in Phoenix. Why did his best friend, who had my telephone number, why did he call me a month before and tell me that he was going through all these things? You know, I'm trying to rationalize it in my head. And then the final step is called acceptance.
Okay.
And acceptance, you accept that the person is gone, you accept that it was their decision, and you accept that you have to move on now.
Hmm.
So that's where I'm at.
Oh, what? So which one of those? So what stage are you at now?
Acceptance.
Okay, so you are at acceptance. Wow, that's powerful. So this happened. So how long did it take you to go through each stage? The first one being, I'm looking at my notes.
No, let me correct it.
Oh.
There's no time frame.
Oh.
No time frame.
Oh.
Never a time frame. Never a time frame.
Oh.
You dealing with the law. So say if you lost your mother and you had a sibling.
Okay.
You might take 5 years to deal with it. Your sibling might take a year.
Oh.
And it's okay. Different people handle loss differently.
Okay. Okay. I get that. Wow. That's powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's powerful. So let me be sure I have these stages right, Khalid. The first stage of the process of the grieving process is shock. The second one is anger, whether you were anger at them or whoever. The third one is sadness. The fourth one is depression. Okay, let me go back. Okay. And then number 4 is bargaining. And number 5 is acceptance. I want to speak about acceptance for just a moment. I see we've got some calls on the line, 773-737. We'll take you momentarily. But I have a question about the acceptance, because many times when we are bombarded with mental health issues that we have of our own without the demise of another person, acceptance of reality as it is sometimes very hard. And like you said, it might take one person a year, it might take somebody else 5 or 10 years, and some people never ever have acceptance. And one of those, this is in my mind, let me know if I'm incorrect here, is just to say, like a mother loses her child, and like this young man, the mother, I'm sure she's experiencing some grief, and she will not close his room off. She will go in his room and sit for hours and hours. It's just like, I can't be through with this because he's a part of me. How is that further detrimental to the process of grieving, or does it help? Or can you share that with us? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, anytime you suffer a major loss, I'm going to always say go into therapy. Go into therapy. And again, build your village of loved ones to give you support. Because it's nothing you should be dealing with by yourself. You're going to have enough alone time.
Yes.
But you still need people who help pull you out.
Yes.
You know, you still need people to help pull you out. Like I have a coworker whose son committed suicide earlier this year, and when we see her at work, we can still see the sadness. When I read her posts, I still see her pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's not for me or anybody else to tell her or give her any time frame.
Right.
Because that's her child.
Right.
It's her child. The only thing you can hope for is that people learn to have balance. So have your grieving time, but also when your kid's birthday, it would have been their birthday, make that a day of celebration. You know, that you're still celebrating that this would have been their birthday.
Right.
You know, when the holidays come, you know, still celebrate like they were there in spirit. You know,
Okay.
I see people like I went to a wedding and a young lady who was getting married, both her parents were deceased, but she had picture frames of them, you know,
Yes.
to say, hey, they're here in spirit with me, you know. So having a balance with the loss.
Balance.
You know?
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Right. Again, this year I know 8 people who have died of corona.
Ooh.
You know, these were 8 deaths that you didn't see at the beginning of the year. I had no way of knowing that this was going to be here, happening. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm walking around kind of like in zombie mode because it's like to deal with this. We never had a pandemic for our generation. The last pandemic was 1919. You know?
Okay.
We're learning how to navigate. We're learning how to navigate this.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And again, we don't have leadership in place.
Right.
We all trying to figure this thing out.
Right.
So we gotta be prayerful and we gotta get help.
But you cannot do it on your own, especially those who think that they are the strongest. Oh, I got this. No, you don't. You think you got this. No, you don't. That's the story we tell ourselves to protect ourselves. Is that what we do?
Of course, absolutely. Absolutely. Or you really believe you got it because, like, I've got friends who like, man, I don't know nobody who died over here. No, so they won't feel what I'm feeling. So,
right.
I know some people, you know, who don't know anybody who had COVID.
Right.
So in their head, yeah, I know this is happening, but it hasn't knocked on my front door.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I got a good friend who's a nurse, and she has to see death every day.
Ooh. Good. Good.
So it's going to hit all of us different.
Yeah. And because everybody is different. Let's go to the phone lines. Area code 737. But right now it's time for a commercial break, so we're going to take your call when we come right back. So stay close. You're first in line.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. What happens when a group of people are kidnapped from their homes, smuggled away in chains, and held captive in a foreign land where they are tortured, raped, and forced to perform hard labor by the lash of a whip and under the constant threat of death? Slavery, the African American psychic trauma. What happens to the doctors, writers, scientists, builders, educators, and spiritual leaders from Africa's golden age? Who did they really capture and sell into slavery? Are all African Americans suffering from psychic trauma because of a conspiracy to hide their true identities? Do you have psychic trauma? Take the test on page 22 of the book and see. Order it online today at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. And get your personally autographed copy of the book, Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma. Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Have we called to world peace and restoration of light,
transcend culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shinsu Kim of HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com.
Grand Rising. And thank you for joining us back here on the Female Solution, Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks. Welcome back to Monday Morning Mindfulness as we share our last half hour together with Brother Khalid Scott, veteran mental health professional, who's on the line with us today giving us tips on how to protect our mental health, corona and mental health. Let's go to the phone lines. 773-737. You are live on the Female Solution, Grand Rising. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness.
Hallelujah. Greetings, Global Transformers, Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. That sounds like wisdom with Mama D. Yes. Welcome, Mama D. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. I really appreciated hearing those steps, process of grieving. My brother, he lost his son. He was a twin at the age of 10. And his best friend. There was two little boys riding on a bicycle, and this man driving on the wrong side of the street, driving on improper brakes, decided to bump their bike. His little friend died on the scene, and my nephew lived about 5 hours. They couldn't x-ray him because his brain was shaking around in his head.
Oh!
And my brother, for over 20 years, he could not bear photographs of my nephew. He couldn't abide anybody bringing up his name. And my sister-in-law said she would find him crying. And she would go over to him and say, well, what's wrong? And he said, you know what's wrong. And then that would be the end of it. And it was very, very sad, but it took him over 25, maybe 30 years to even be able to say, I have a son and this is what happened to him. And my sister-in-law was given some very good advice. She said, someone told her, you know, God was merciful because he took one. They were a twin, and he only took one of them.
Oh, wow. 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 That's a lot to leave the other one with. Wow. Wow.
Absolutely. I said she needed that because, and you said, in times like these, what do you do? And you know what I started humming, in times like these, you need a savior. In times like these, you need a reviver. You need an anchor.
You need an anchor. Yes. Yes.
But you got to be sure. I hope Brother Trash is listening in, and maybe she can call it and give us a few bars in times like these.
All right now. All right. Thank you so much.
I'm sure she can knock that for that out. But getting back to the virus. Now the squirrels and the stray dogs and cats and the birds, they all breathe. But nobody's saying they're believers in it. The homeless people, they come in all ages. They don't have good diet. What it's saying, they're leaders in it. So when it comes to this virus and it comes to the vaccine, especially the vaccine, don't know what's in it. It's supposed to be a 2-shot deal. And what happens if you take the one shot
and they run out of milk apples and you don't get the second shot.
Mm.
And how much time is supposed to elapse before you get the shot? And what if you get the shot, you get a reaction to it before you get the second shot? What do you do? But at the end of the day, anything that's out here that's really a threat, and rich people aren't the first to get it, that's suspect.
Oh,
That's suspect.
okay. Yeah, of course it's suspect.
They're going to have it up front. And then you're going to try to intimidate people in public houses. And we're going to kick you out of public houses. And we're going to take you off the food stamps if you are on the STEP program. Now, look, we know for sure you need food to eat or you will die.
Mm-hmm.
So for sure you need a shelter, or this element out here can kill you. So you tell the folks you're going to be intimidated by sure death. I'm going to put you in harm's way, taking away your food, taking away your shelter for a virus that might help you out in case you get.
In case you
Now,
just.
I'm not even a gambling person.
Yeah, that don't even sound good to me. That just in case. It's just just in case I'm gonna keep my immune system that I have been working on. I'm gonna keep that, and that's good enough for me. You know, to each his own. We live in a country where you have the option and the choice to do that. So thank you so very much for calling in and sharing that information. Mama D, we're going to go to the phone line, 706-202. Try to get some of these calls in before we got like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. 706-202. Grand Rising, you're live on the Female Solution. Where are you calling from? And what's your name?
Grand Rising, and happy solar eclipse day.
Oh, wow.
On this 14th. And it's happening at this moment
Mm.
in Georgia.
Really?
So the part, right, and it's a new moon. And I'm thankful for my brother for sharing what we need to be talking about is some of the mental illnesses that affect us in our community.
Mm.
There's a sister that wrote a book. It's called The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. Her name is Dr. Walker, and Rahid Dr. Walker. And it's excellent in what she talks about some of the tragedies. And death is one of the tragedies that we have. But we have to look at our children and how they're programmed as children. Because I remember my son when The Lion King came out, and he finally got the message from Simba's father being killed. And he came in crying to my office and he said, "Daddy, are you going to die?" And I said, "Yes, I'm going to die." And he started really crying. He says, "I don't want you to die. I don't want you to die." And I said, "Okay, JoJo, if you stop crying, when you stop crying, I'm going to tell you what you can do to keep me alive." And he says, "Okay." He sucked up tears and he stood there and we looking eye to eye. And I said, "If you keep me in your heart," I pointed to his heart and I pointed to his head. I said, "If you keep me in your heart and in your head, I'll stay alive in you like Simba did, father did when he stayed alive in the stars, when he seen the stars. So can you do that?" He said, "Yeah, Daddy, I can keep you alive in me." And I said, "Well, do that and I'll stay alive in you." That was his first introduction to give to him about what that is. Do not lie to them. It's letting them know we're going to leave here, but we live, our spirits live in you. And so these are the ways in which we have to begin to give us the understanding of that. Yes, we come here and we're going to leave here, but it is how you learn to hold that energy because we're all spirits.
Wow.
And what it is learning how to live with that spirit, even though the body has left. We traumatize it. We traumatize in that. And it's another thing that we do in Native American tradition is that you ask the person three things on their deathbed. It says, have you forgiven yourself? And have you forgiven everybody who's done something to you?
Wow.
And that's one question. And then you ask the next question is that, are you ready and have you lived your purpose that you came on the planet for?
Oh.
And the last question is that, are you ready to return back to the spirit that you came, back to the spirit which you came from?
Wow.
The person can answer those questions and saying, yes, they completed. But when they haven't, they have a challenge. That's why some people can go to sleep and just leave here. And then other people fight in turmoil.
Oh.
It's because we have to understand that we come with a purpose and the things in which we do, and these are tools because you have to look at our children are introduced to over 2,500 actual artificial killings by watching movies and playing these games.
Ooh.
And they have a mindset that they can go outside and take
yes.
and shoot
Yes. Yes.
They have been inundated, but what we have to begin to do is be able to change that mindset as our children are not to look at that as something that they can go outside and do to another person that looks like them. It's called Bobby E. Wright talked about it, menticide.
Menticide. Wow.
Is that we train to kill people that look like us.
Wow.
That which is most likely to ourselves. And we've been given that. That's part of that post-traumatic slave syndrome. So
wow.
These are tools that we have to look at the mental, because the mental is really only what Freud took with the word psychic. And he took it from an Egyptian word self, and which was really spirit. And it's the spirit that is disconnected from the mind. The mind just grows the body. It's the traffic controller of what goes on for all the other brains in the body. It's how we live our spirit. And our heart is the seat of the will. Thank us.
Wow, that is powerful. Thank you so much. I've got to put that in the chat box so people can see that. You said can you repeat those three questions? Forgive at the deathbed. Have you forgiven everyone? And
have you forgiven yourself and everyone that has harmed you?
Okay.
Forgive yourself and everyone that harmed you.
Okay. And number 2.
Right. And then the next question is, have you done everything that you came to the planet to do?
Have you done everything you came to planet to do? Wow. I got to get.
And the last one, are you ready to return back to spirit? Because we're so afraid of death, but we're not here to. Our spirit will live for energy. Our spirits are energy. Energy never dies. We just move and go back to the source in which we came from.
Yes.
So when we have an understanding of that, of which we are that. That's why we have churches and everything, is that my soul is going to return back to God. And now it's because we're cosmic beings. We have to remember where we came from.
Right. That's powerful. That is powerful. That is powerful. I am loving this. Thank you so very much. And I am including those in the quote. I am going to leave your line open, Brother Kwame, as we go to the phone, 708-677. You are live on the Female Solution Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
That's my other sister of the microphone, Maika. Yes, welcome, my sister.
Oh, thank you, and greetings to your guests and your listening audience. It's so good to be alive this day.
Yes, it is.
Today we're celebrating the 12th anniversary of the soul transition of James Luther Bell. The mastermind of the 60s nonviolent movement. Moving.
Yes.
From the right to vote movement.
Yes.
So we're glad that he came out. We don't know where we've been. God has picked him out to be courageous and lead the march. Joy said once, Joy Seguranza said on her show once, she said, I've been studying this man. I used to think that he was
all into Dr. King's stuff. Come to find out, Dr. King was into his stuff.
Oh,
And it's true.
wow.
Yes, he was the one who Dr. King followed, actually. So we're going to be celebrating him and his life and time for the conference call today, starting at 3. It's an ongoing conference call for as long as people want to call in and be a part and share the blessings that he brought to their lives. And anybody who's interested, you can go to the website, newbeing.com, and there you will be able to get the call-in number so that you can call in and discuss what you want to discuss and listen to other people discussing the light that he brought into their lives.
And what time is that? Did you say 3 o'clock today?
It's going to start at 3. The
3 p.m.
number will be up after 12.
Okay.
After 12, the number will be up at newbeing.com. And I'll send you information so you can put on your list.
Yes,
okay?
So I can share it. Thank you so much, my sister, my tapping sister of the microphone. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. Thank us.
Oh, and let me tell you about tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we're going to be doing some guided imagery.
Oh.
And we're going to be, we've been doing the root chakra, but tomorrow what we're going to do is rooted in the earth and climbing the tree of life.
All right.
So we're gonna do guided imagery. I'm gonna facilitate a guided imagery tour of the tree of life and our family.
Wonderful.
Of course, the tree of life is within us.
Wonderful. I will definitely be.
It's about activating it.
Yes.
And so we're gonna work to activate the tree of life from within on tomorrow.
Wonderful. I will definitely be joining in. Thank you so much, my sister. We appreciate you. Let's try to get a couple more of these calls in. Area code 773-977. You're live on the Female Solution Grand Rising. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's your comment as it relates to mental health this morning?
Good morning. This is Lois here from Chicago. I'm so sorry that I missed most of the program, but who is our gentleman from the Veterans Administration this morning?
That's Khalid Scott, veteran mental health professional. Yes, Khalid.
I want to ask him a question. Also, I can receive a contact number from him, or if you can give him my phone number. But I want to know, Mr. Scott, and thank you for your service, serving the horrible people in this world, because the world is okay. But I was wondering if you know that most of our soldiers are being killed at the Hines VA Hospital.
What was your question again?
Have you noticed, or are you aware that most of our soldiers are dying at the Hines VA Hospital? And do you know of the seesaw boards with the soldiers on?
No, I'm not aware. I work at Jesse Brown, and the deaths that we've been hearing about are either natural causes or COVID related.
My father was a soldier in World War II, and that's why I know we're short of time this morning, but I'd like to talk to you about the seesaw board that they have at Hines Hospital, where quite a few people, including my father, died as a result of this seesaw board. And if my host will please give me my phone number, I'd appreciate it, but we don't have that much time left.
Okay, I'll be sure. I'll be sure he gets it.
I've been dying at Hines VA Hospital. Okay, thank you.
I'll be sure. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. My mic's still on.
Yes.
Yeah, what she's talking about is true, because every 22 minutes a veteran is committing suicide.
Ooh.
We are going through the post-traumatic syndrome from war. And the thing that we did here for a while was we were creating a reboot camp, because men are being trained to go out and kill, and they come back damaged. And they're not giving them the necessary training to come back into their communities and families. And we're having a high turnover of veterans killing themselves and homelessness. I'm a Vietnam vet, and I know what I went through with my felt with coming home from Vietnam. And you're talking about people dying, but what happens when you see yourself taking another human's life? That has a trauma on us also. And so there are tools in which we have to begin to utilize for those ones that are going into the military because there's no employment here when they come out of school. So yes, she's very much on point in what she's speaking, because they are transitioning, a lot of them, because they don't want to pay for and do the work that they need to do to help us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let's try to get another call in here. 407-701. You're live on the Female Solution. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Zelda. It's Viata.
Oh, Viata. Welcome.
Good morning, host. I so appreciate you, Dr. Khalid, sharing what you're going through, number one, because I had a neighbor who's a psychologist, and his life didn't end well because I understand all the stress that you carry. So I appreciate you sharing your journey with us. And I want to ask about death, because as a life coach, I realized that I got last year at this time, I was in Chicago to bury my dad, and he was 95 years old. So it was really interesting to be in the cold of Chicago. And I prayed I wouldn't have to go there in the winter, but I realized I got through my grief process fairly quickly because I had already been looking at death differently when my sister's only child, like you shared, when their only child leaves, they really suffer depression and sadness. And going through that with her, seeing my niece die, and then she died because of the grief, I really began to work on accepting death as a reward. And I'm wondering what are some of the things you help your clients think about and share with them to accept death as a reward, or just help them get through that grief process in a way that brings honor to the person who left, or just helps them come to peace? What are some of the things you tell your clients about death?
Before you answer that, Khalid, before you answer that, let me give a pre-warning. The show is almost over, but for those who are on the switchboard who would still like to contribute, you can call in now, or 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak, because mental health is crucial. And if you have concerns, we want to take your calls. So we will go over a little bit. So feel free to call in, and you've got to press the number 1 now. Because once I play this closing, chances are you may not get a chance to do that. So you want to call in right now, 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. Even though we'll go over, but you still need to press 1 now. Go ahead, Brother Khalid. Feel free to answer that question.
Okay, and I'll make it brief.
You don't have to make it brief. Take your time.
Hello?
You don't have to make it brief. Take your time.
Okay, basically, we talk about the cycle of life. We talk about, like the gentleman said, we talk about the reality of life and death. And then we talk about where they are at individually. See, again, when you talk about grief, when you talk about loss, when you talk about someone coming to grips about death, it's very individualized. Yeah, it's very individualized. There's no one approach. I was talking to a good friend / colleague over the weekend who had did a training on, grief. And she was giving me, more meaningful information about how we handle grief. And I'm just learning that how someone individually deals with it, that's what you have to meet them at. Yeah. Because different people have different significance in our life. I might be able to get over quicker a long lost friend from high school quicker than I would if my mother passed. Because of the close proximity of the relationship. So you have to take that into account. Or remember I became friends with a young man years ago, and we were only buddies for 2 months. And when he died, he was killed. When he got killed, I mean, you would have thought me and him been best friends for 20, 30 years. But because for 2 months it was like we did everything together. We was just running buddies. So, it was like, that was very impactful. So again, there's no given formula. You just meet, as a clinician, I have to meet people where they're at in their process, not where I expect them to be. And then you let people know you have to build your support around yourself. I highly suggest to people, don't alienate yourself. Reach out to your loved ones, because we all need support. We all need at least one person that we feel is on our side.
Yes.
Who can hear us and validate us. And then whatever ritual you have to go through in order to deal with the loss, go through it. I knew somebody who went to the cemetery every week to see a lost one. That helped them transition. Going to the cemetery, every week. So again, there's many interventions to put in place, but I highly suggest that someone loses someone, whether it was you knew the person was sick for a long time, or if it was a special loss. Please seek therapy.
I have one more question for him, if
Sure.
my mic is.
Sure.
Our Thursday morning host, Wendy DeRoche, has always brings up the fact that when she's dealing with relationships, she always advises that the parties ask about their relationship with their parents. And one of the things I'm learning, and I'm wondering how often you talk to your clients about their childhood, because I'm learning that even with PTSD and veterans, there was studies on that showed those veterans who came back with PTSD, more than likely they had a very difficult childhood and with their relationship with their parents. So I'm wondering how often you would come across clients where you have to go into the relationship they had with their parents to get to some healing or make progress with them.
Good question, Via.
Okay. Oh, that's a great question. And for me, the answer is all of my clients.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Whoa.
That's great.
I know that anytime somebody is plagued with an issue, in order for me to know who they are, I have to do a genogram of where they came from.
Wow.
So when I have a client, the client has bipolar, I ask them, which was it, your maternal side or your paternal side who had mental health illness?
Wow.
And it's always one or the other, or sometimes it's both.
Wow.
And that's nothing to be ashamed of. And that's nothing. I said there's nothing to be ashamed of. We all got mental issues. It's part of the human process.
Absolutely. We're all going through things. Then next, again, because it helps build the foundation of who we are, our parents. Whether we love them, like them, or hated them, they're still part of us. They're part of our makeup. Like when I tell young ladies, when they're seeking the men in a relationship, every woman, whether she knew her dad or didn't, whether she loved him or hated him, she always somehow said who are reminiscent of her dad.
Oh, say that again. Repeat that.
The relationships you have with men, you will see a correlation with your dad. So if your dad wasn't present, you will take guys who are aloof.
Yes. Yes. Unavailable.
You had a strong relationship. Right. If you have a strong relationship with your dad, like my daughter is a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you in a minute, Daddy, I don't like nerds. My daddy got the biggest mouth in Chicago. You know?
And that's what I always tell my son, your presence with your children is what is most important. As long as you are present with them and loving and kind, they're going to be okay. Because my grandchildren are 4 and 6. And I have discussions with my son all the time about how he's doing. He's doing a great job. And he gets a little concerned. And I said, hey, as long as you are present and dealing with all of their issues, they're going to be okay.
Yes.
And I think that's what's really key in parenting is be present. And you're not going to be perfect. But I have one more question for you. When you have clients that you ask about their childhood, do you ever have to like really dig and sometimes they're in denial? Like if you say, well, what about your parents? They say, oh, I didn't have any problems. And yet you're looking at an adult who has lots of issues or in relationships or whatever. How do you deal with those who are resistant to go into that place of understanding their relationship with their parents is what's triggering or affecting their adult problems they're having?
Great question.
In my 27 and a half years of being a clinician, I would say 92% I've never had an issue. Because you got to remember, once somebody is sitting in my office, they tend to be ready.
Right, okay.
They're ready for the help.
Right.
Wow. That's powerful.
People, then that would be a different story. But the people who are in my office, they're like, I'm ready for some change to go on in my life. I'm ready for some healing. And I let them know, I got to know who you are. In order for me to help, and in order for me to know who you are, I got to know where you came from. And I got to know what is your history of what got you to sit in this office today. So, I mean, think about it. Haven't you ever been on a bus stop and you carried on a conversation with a stranger and they open up to you for some reason?
Yes.
And you're like, wow.
That was a lot to share. Yeah.
But that lets you know you wanted to release it. And here it is, this is a stranger. They have no connection with you.
None whatsoever.
But for some reason, God set them right next to you that day. And you let it all out.
I see it all the time.
It's just how the universe works.
Yeah, I see it all the time.
Yeah, our Thursday host, Wendy, has a bus stop story about a client who had sex on the bus stop. But that's like the extreme.
I guess. Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
The story she tells.
Never heard that one before. Wow. I'll be sure and tune in. So be sure and tune in Thursday for Wendy City Deloach.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Khalid. I just really appreciate all your wisdom and advice that you're giving us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Khalid. I know you've got to go and take care of your patients today, but we greatly appreciate you taking the time to be with us here this morning on the Female Solution and the Higher Learning Network on our YouTube channel. So please go and subscribe. Higher Learning TV show. Give us a closing thought, Brother Khalid.
Okay. I just want to let everybody who can hear my voice know we will make it through this. We will. We are natural survivors.
And we were put here. We were put here for a reason. So just know that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will survive. We will survive. And get your help.
Get some help.
Support.
Don't be ashamed. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Brother Khalid. We greatly appreciate you and all your wisdom and all your clinical information that you shared with us this morning on mental health for Monday Morning Mindfulness. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate that. Enjoy your day. And remember to put your favorite song on and dance too, because you take a lot of stuff in during the day, during the course of the day. So get your boogie on and tell Ayana I said hi.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, and thank you for having me.
All right, and thank you for joining us this morning. We greatly appreciate you, and we appreciate you, the viewers and the listeners, especially those of our support team who help make this show possible. Behind the scenes, you haven't a clue as to what goes on. 7 o'clock in the morning is crazy up in here, but that's why I get up at 3 or 4 so I can make it appear seamlessly that everything's fine and it's chaos going on behind the scenes, but you don't need to know that. And I want to announce that it is crucial that you have a support team. Like Brother Khalid just said, you got to have somebody who's got to have your back in a time of need. And I have got that person, and she is even not here with me in the United States. She's in Thailand. And her name, she's my right hand. I hope I get this name right. Jonathan Naeem. And if I didn't get that right, I'm sure you will let me know. Jonathan Naeem. Jonathan Naeem. She's in Thailand. You see the Higher Learning Network scroll at the top. She did that. She did the t-shirts. I forgot to tell you to go to my website at wordpress.com. Excuse me, ZeldaSpeaks.wordpress.com. Look at her artwork. She does beautiful work. So if you ever want to hire her, she's a freelance intern. She does all of our graphics. Please go to ZeldaSpeaks.wordpress.com and vote on the t-shirt that you think is best. So there's black print and there's white print, and you'll see it when you get there. And I need you to vote, and I need you to go to our YouTube channel and do that at youtube.com/Higher Learning TV Show. And you can also do it on the Higher Learning Network Facebook page too, which is facebook.com/HLN TV Show. Just like the logo you see here, when you see that, you'll know you're at the right place. HLN for Higher Learning Network. So vote. Let me know what you think about the t-shirts. And Maika, be sure and join her at 3 p.m. And once you go to the website, A New Being, the number will be posted there. Brother Kwame Sunhorse from Georgia, you want to give us a closing note before we open up the microphone with my sister of the microphone, Naima Latif?
Well, I'm very grateful for the Monday mental health, and I think it's very important that we begin to look at that in our community, because we have a sort of a stigma about mental health. We're thinking that you're crazy. No, we just need some spiritual guidance, because it's really your spirit that has to reconnect back to the mind. And once we begin to understand that, we will begin to see that we can become better human beings. And what we're here to become, that's why you asked the question, have you done what you came here to be? Because there's a lot of interference and interdetainment through media and other sources that causes that mental confusion. So, man, know thyself is what our ancestors left us. And how do we know ourselves? It's an inside job.
Powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. We greatly appreciate that. And we appreciate all of our listeners and viewers who are with us and can continue to be with us this morning if they so choose, as we bring to the microphone our sister of the microphone, the executive director, executive producer of the Female Solution, who joins us live here on Facebook and our YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV Show. And you can unmute yourself, Naima. And we welcome you to the platform of the Higher Learning Network TV show, which airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19 and 24/7 on the World Wide Web. Higher Learning TV show. Welcome, Naima.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Fantastic. Well, thank you to all who have stayed with us for this family empowerment hour or half hour, however long we're here. We do appreciate everybody who is part of the Female Solution family. And one of the reasons why we come to you every day is to provide a platform, which is a morning think tank, so that we can hash out the solutions to our issues and build a better world. And I'm really grateful to your guest today for approaching that topic, which really is uppermost in people's minds as we are daily hearing reports of death from the pandemic. And the important thing for us in this time is for us to realize that there is no death, so that we can better plan and enjoy our lives. One of the things that we do every morning at our 5:55 message, and that's 5:55 a.m. every morning on Facebook Live, is to point people to those communicators and those inspired sharers of information that give us more insight about life and what it means to be here on planet Earth. Why are we here? Why are we going through these experiences? And it is for the evolution of our souls, which are eternal. And we've been really working on helping people address their fears of death. So much of that is what causes us to accept being manipulated and misguided and making decisions that are not in our best interest. So this is really raising consciousness to a whole different level of comprehension of your existence. When you know that no one leaves here and no one is ever lost, you miss them just like you would miss a friend or family member who moved overseas and you couldn't readily go and visit them, but you know they still exist. So you miss them, and you would certainly enjoy their physical presence where you are, but you're still happy because you know they have not left. They have merely changed addresses. So we connect people every day with those individuals who can help us raise our awareness about existence. And that's on the On Air Network. On Air stands for Online Network of Associated Internet Radio Hosts. And we're part of an entire global family of communicators whose mission is to raise global consciousness. That's what we do every day. And so every morning we give you a link to someone who has a message that can help you in your journey through life and your conscious raising experience by revealing information that will help you see things from a different perspective. We've shared so many wonderful communicators, some who are still here and some who have transitioned to the other side. But the wonderful thing about video and audio recordings is that your essence is preserved. And so the knowledge that you share is preserved and able to be accessed by people who are continuing in their physical existence, even though you may have left the planet. Even though you might not physically be among us, you can still be among us and still teach. So that also helps us to understand that no one ever really leaves. No one is gone. No one is lost. We help people by connecting them to those who are sharing their experiences, many of them who've had near-death experiences in which they transitioned momentarily to the other side, the spirit realm. They met and spoke with those friends and relatives who have transitioned and ended their current physical incarnation. And they come back with a totally different understanding. And one thing that is absent is a fear of death. And certainly there's no mourning or grieving when someone leaves because they know where they are. They're not gone. They've just moved to the next dimension, the non-physical realm that is unseeable by our physical eyes, but felt if we're in tune. Each day I connect people to someone who has a message that can help them, particularly if they're struggling with the idea of grief over a loss. Because we really, as a human family, need to evolve to a different, higher level of understanding of our existence. Once we do that, then everything else will fall into place. Our decisions that we make, our systems we create, everything will fall into place once we understand life and eternal life and the fact that we are all connected to the one source of life. That's the basis of everything. And so we connect people to those who can help them in their understanding. And On Air is a wonderful global guide to the communicators across this world who have that inner knowing that their purpose is to raise consciousness. And that's what they do with this wonderful tool of the internet, being able to reach out across distances and share knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So on Saturday, December 26th, we're introducing our second Global Peace Summit. And we've invited presenters, many of whom are featured on the on-air networks, radio, TV guide. They have internet podcasts, YouTube channels, and websites that are regular sources of information and knowledge sharing so that we can all share the knowledge and we can all grow in our understanding. So from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Time, we will be on the Female Solution radio show website. We will be live on our Facebook page, and then of course on our regular program hour, 2 hours, 12 noon to 2 p.m. will also be available on our podcast, and you can call in and verbally join us, and you'll also be able to join us live on our Female Solution Facebook channel. We'll be sharing it with all of our other Facebook pages of our Female Solution hosts. So you can see us all over Facebook on Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Time. And we'll be sharing those corresponding times for wherever you are across the nation and across the world so that you can join us live. We'll have a chance to address some of those topics that can help to transform our lives. So 9 o'clock, I'm going to kick it off, basically introducing the whole global network that is contained on the on-air network, which certainly highlights many people that you should know that are presenting information you can access every day, all day. And once you can see the alternative programming that is available, you may choose to turn loose some of those depressing news shows, some of those murder shows, some of those shows that give you all the imagery of violence and distress that really bring down your energy level.
As Brother Kwame would say, menticide.
Yeah.
Mental suicide, because we're being trained with this programming and we don't get it.
We're not realizing that we're putting these images in our minds, and then we're the cause of our own depression. So these shows on the on-air network, they are the kind that can energize you and give you a whole new perspective of life. And of course, you can go to onaireverywhere.com and scroll over and see the on-air radio TV guide and subscribe to those channels and listen to those presenters, and they will definitely change your life.
Yes.
Because much of it is knowledge that we don't have access to because it's not taught in schools, it's not readily available, and yet it's the knowledge that transforms our thinking. So we're continuing on at 9:30 to introduce the New Earth Homeschool curriculum, and of course New Earth stands for natural, educational. We'll go over what it means, but the main thing is that it's a collaboration of many different educational systems and those that educate from a different perspective. We know that many are still struggling with teaching their children at home and trying to follow the public schools guidelines and trying to duplicate what teachers are doing. And it's very frustrating, largely because what we're forcing our children to learn has no relevance to their actual lives, no relevance to their daily survival, no relevance to their interests, and it definitely does not make them feel good.
No.
So, and we know we all been to schools where you're made to feel bad if you can't grasp something, or you put in the dummy room, or some other humiliating thing you go through as a child, which shouldn't happen. So with New Earth, which stands for natural environment, wholesome education, awakening responsibility to humanity, New Earth. And it is a whole different system of teaching based on enlivening a child and getting them excited about knowledge and getting them to see a vision that they're going to be creating the world that they live in. And so the way they learn about science is to understand how everything works together. So they are able to discover and explore and enjoy the learning experience without this harsh discipline, punishment-based, fear-based, humiliation-based system that our schools have become.
Yes.
And it is designed to inspire children.
Not make them robots.
Not make them robots. Help them think and analyze and even criticize. And they can look at things we've done and say, well, I don't think the way you all did that was right, because what you did over here helped these people, but then what you did to these people was hurtful. So we have to do a different way. We have to create a different way of doing things so that nobody's hurt. And that's the whole goal. How can you create systems of government, food distribution? How can you create systems of transportation? How can you create systems in which nobody is hurt? Not even the planet we live on. How can you make it holistic so that everybody benefits? Because the earth is based on a system in which nothing is wasted. What's trash for one person is food for someone else. So that's how we want our children to think. Every life matters. So whatever we do, we have to make sure that everybody's needs are taken care of. And that's how we want them to think, because our main focus is helping to reinforce that you are valuable. And your mind, heart, and spirit is a part of this world, a very valuable part. And so we want to help you become your best self by opening the doors of knowledge to you from everywhere. And so this is this is the way education can be when we take control in our own hands and we can do that. Our own homes. So next, of course, at 10 o'clock, we'll talk about new economics, and we're sharing systems where people who've created various bartering and trade systems, various kinds of currency that open the door of opportunity and accessibility to everyone. No one should be impoverished because the earth is plentiful. So once again, we're looking at better ways of interacting as a human family, making sure everyone's needs are met. The reason for our buying, selling, and trading and exchanging is so that everyone has what they need and everyone is able to share what they have so that no one goes without. And that's what we're sharing. Those organizations, companies, individuals that have created systems that work so that we can duplicate this and we can begin to replace the crumbling economy that exists, because it is crashing, and we don't need to rebuild what was broken. We need to create and enhance something new that works.
And thank you for mentioning trade and barter, because this show is being sponsored by itex.com. Karen Kelly is my contact person there, and she is responsible for the Higher Learning Network being in the barter trade arena, because we have bought, I cannot tell you the amount of things we've bought: truck, equipment, we've traveled, you name it, we've done it. So for businesses and entrepreneurs that have needs, whether it's personal or professional, you can stop paying cash and start bartering. Like the old system we used to do back in the day before they came up with this monetary system with paper. Or now it's digital dollars.
Yes, yes.
Not Bitcoin.
Absolutely. So all of these things are in place to replace what currently is crumbling right before our eyes, because we need something that everybody can participate in and get a part of and benefit from. So, of course, this gives us an opportunity to recreate the way we do business and the way we reach out and help our neighbors. So at 10:30, we're going to move on to the urban food growers and independent farmers and connecting them with restaurants that are providing food. We want to make sure that we're eating healthy food and encouraging the good use of the ground around us by having those who have successful urban food growing programs share how they went about transforming unused, vacant, wasted property into areas where healthy food is growing. We're giving you some how-tos from those who are making it happen where they live. And we want you to try it at home so that you can see the power of being able to feed yourself with just a little bit of earth and water. And of course, Sister Zelda here has a grow tower in her apartment. So you can always grow food wherever you are. And that's what we want to help people see, that you don't ever have to starve. You don't ever have to be food insecure, because you have the power within your own hands to create what you need. And Mother Earth will give it to you for free with just a little nurturing. We can make that happen. So that's at that time. And then, of course, at 11 o'clock, we're going to move into the politics of peace with our friends from HWPL, Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Life, giving us an update on their global peace efforts and getting a document called the DPCW, the Declaration of Peace, Cessation of War, how this 10-point program has been presented to nations around the world, and how these articles contained in this document that their chairman, Man Hee-lee from South Korea, has been presenting to world leaders and presenting to the United Nations, and how we as a people can choose to adopt these principles above and beyond whether our elected officials make it official. We as a people can choose to live by these principles. And these are principles that will ensure there is no violence and war between nations. So we're making a pledge and a commitment to each other as citizens of whatever nations we live in, that we are not going to participate in war. And when we make that decision, there can be no war. So it's necessary for us to hear each other, listen to each other, and understand what each other's problems are, so we can choose to help rather than hurt. So this is the establishment of that global network where we can talk to each other directly, and we're not going through the news media that distorts things, and we're not going through sound bites of people with a political agenda. We're talking to the mothers, the fathers, the students, the people on the ground wherever they are, and understanding what their issues are, so that we're not manipulated into hating strangers. So we are building that family. And then at 12 o'clock, we've got a special session with street organizations who have made peace. And we've got Chicago's own Gator Bradley, the urban translator, who will be joining us and sharing with us some very powerful behind the scenes negotiations that are happening to end urban violence. And so much of the violence that we've experienced has been actually manipulated by outside forces that are looking to make profits off of our pain, our distress, our desperation. We'll get a chance to get an inside look at what some of the elements are that keep that conflict going, and those courageous individuals who have decided to put aside their differences and declare a treaty of peace. and how we as the citizens can be supportive of that effort. And of course, at 1 o'clock, we're going to have a very special session with those representing the police, those representing the people who have had family members harmed by police, and learning the skills of nonviolent communication. And our first Saturday host, Jana Brooks, is going to be with us along with her associate with NBC, Nonviolent Communication, and actually showing how the language you use when expressing ideas and thoughts and concerns can literally keep things peaceful. And so we're having an hour-long session showing these two adversarial sides how to talk to each other. And we're putting that in motion so that we can set an example and send this out to police departments all across the country so they can begin retraining their officers differently. We have to change the relationship between the police and the people. And it begins with changing the mind, the attitude, and the languages. So we're planting the seeds right here. And then, of course, at 2 o'clock, we're going to address that whole system of public health. And many people who are very much concerned.
Somebody's trying to get your attention. They don't know that you're on the air.
They'll get it later. They'll be out. So, of course, there are many countries, and we're going to be talking to our representatives from Kenya and Ghana and other places where people have a better handle on the coronavirus and understand what are they doing that actually builds a natural immune system, and how can we do that, and how we can make decisions to build our immune system naturally if we choose to not participate in vaccinations, and how we can preserve our freedom to make that choice. And we'll end with a session on holistic healing. There are many different forms of energy healing, Reiki healing, and the collective healing of collective prayer. And we'll do one last demonstration on the collective putting forth of healing energy. There's a session that is scheduled for the 21st of December. We'll have some representatives on in which a global healing prayer is scheduled to be put forth so that the planet can feel the healing vibrations. Well, we'll talk about how that aids in the shift that Earth is making, and how when we have a collective thought, how that actually transforms our physical reality. And we'll put those processes in position to be able to be used every day by the collective body of conscious human beings so that we can witness that shift in our Earth and in our populations. And ultimately, we're going to live to see the change that we are talking about, because we're here making it happen. So we want you to join us and be a part of this global transformation, the Global Peace Summit 2, sponsored by the Female Solution Radio Show, and many around the world who are of like mind, who would like to see us all rise to a level of enlightenment.
Amen. And enlightened we are because of you. So thank you so very much, our executive producer of the Female Solution. That would be Sister Naima Latif. Girl, I don't know how you do it. The 5:55, it's like I'm up, but I still don't know how you do it. Well, and give a message and look glorious doing. What's your secret?
Well, just don't look anything from you just only see the waist up. So
got the PJs on.
Yeah, and all that, get the face together. Hey, everything's fine,
Something I was looking at, I can't remember what it was on TV, and the guy forgot that all he had was a shirt on. So when he got up, you saw everything dangling. I was like, oh my goodness. That's why I put all my clothes on. I am not taking that chance. You do not need to see no Monday morning madness. Nope. You don't need to see this. So thank you for being good from the waist up, and you don't have to get up. Very, very good. We appreciate that.
Side out of my seat because I know.
So thank you so very much for all the work that you do. And I forgot to thank our Clubhouse listeners for joining us this morning on the Higher Learning Network TV show on YouTube and part of the Female Solution on blogtalkradio.com, the Female Solution. Before we close, let me give a thanks to my right hand who is in Thailand. She's not even in the States. Let me get this name right. Jonathan Naeem. Jonathan Naeem. And if I didn't get it right, you know where my heart is, because this girl has got my writing. It doesn't matter. It's like, girl, do you sleep? Because there's a time difference. It's what time? 9:30 a.m. here. I think it's 9:30 at night there, and she is woke. Whenever I come on, she's on there. I don't think she sleeps. I really don't. Wow. She's always there when I need her. So I am most grateful. I know that she and her whole family are watching this morning in Thailand. So we just want to let you know that we appreciate you and all the work and all the effort and all the energy that you put into the work. You see the graphics for the Higher Learning Network. Jonathan did that. Did I pronounce that name right? Jonathan Naeem. Jonathan Naeem. Thank you, my sister. Thank you for making us look good. See, I told you I don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
All right now.
And do not forget, or let me clean it up. Remember to go to my blog, ZeldaSpeaks.wordpress.com, and please vote for the t-shirts. There's one with black graphics, and there's one, and I'm sorry, graphics are the same. The ink is in white or it's in black, and I need you to vote. Go to my Zelda Speaks page or Facebook Higher Learning TV show and vote on there, because we want to see these are going to be t-shirts for the winners of the Teen Talent Contest that begins Saturday at noon right here on blog. It's not on Blog Talk. It's on the Higher Learning Network TV channel on YouTube. On YouTube, Higher Learning TV show. Did I say that right? Higher Learning TV show. Yeah. Higher Learning TV show.
TV show.
And if you want to grow your groceries, grow your vegetables at home. Groceries, same thing. ZeldaSpeaks.towergarden.com. And thank you for our new audience listening from the Clubhouse, in which I sent Naima Latif a link, and I know she will be responding. So thank you all for being with us here today. Be sure and join tomorrow, Maika. Let's talk about it with Maika. You'll be glad you did. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next Monday morning mindfulness right here on blogtalkradio.com, the Female Solution, and the Higher Learning Network TV show. Yeah, whatever you do something good, special for yourself. What'd you say, Naima?
Just looking to make sure we got everybody that was on the switchboard, but I think you did. Yeah.
Okay. And thank you for all who hung on the switchboard. If you got questions or comments, you could always send them to our Facebook page, Zelda Speaks, or the Female Solution. Stay on purpose, stay empowered. Stay tuned to your next Monday morning mindfulness. And I'll see you back here Saturday, 12 noon for the Teen Talent Contest. Make it a great day, and thanks for watching. Shalom. Peace.